Hello.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. I went to see Dave Chappelle yesterday. It was mint.
I can
So
imagine.
I'm still buzzing.
He might be the best working comedian in the world.
He's the greatest. He's the GOAT. At one point, I thought I'd never see him. Remember when he disappeared? Because
You keep saying you're going to do that again as well.
Yeah, he should. Just go, wouldn't you? If you made like just, I'd do one to like India.
YouTube at some point. So yeah, absolutely. If I was Dave Chappelle, I'm nowhere near Dave Chappelle, but yeah, at some point I'll just disappear and you'll be like, well, that's that dickhead.
So that was great. How you been?
All right.
Got a nice little hoodie on there. Your mate gave you.
Yeah, that's right. Support my friends' businesses.
Darren Bent, number 9. I once wanted Darren Bent to sign for Man United. Thoughts?
Okay.
Thoughts?
We all have wrong opinions at times, don't we?
Yeah, and that reminds me of a new topic we got at the end of today's show called Sorry Not Sorry, which we'll talk about at the end. But there's been so much going on in the last, I say week, but even the last couple of days when you look at, from a United perspective, potentially top 5 now could get Champions League football, although it's going to be appealed, obviously, by City.
Oh, they're going to take it through so many courts. They're going to be courts like that existing. Apparently, one of the courts that they're going to take it through is the Human Rights Court. Ironic.
Their owners are going to want to go to the Human Rights Court.
That's what someone needs to do, isn't it? Someone needs to stand out front there and be like...
Subpoena them when they get there.
Really?
So we're going to talk about that.
I got a whole folder here for you.
We're going to talk about Mino Raiola, Pogba, Gary Neville, FFP. What else has been going off this week? I made a little list, but we'll talk about all of that. What do you want to talk about first?
Raiola.
Actually, no. Let's start somewhere. No, sorry. Because I asked you and then I looked at my list and I remembered.
Right, okay.
We need to speak about Harry Gregg for at least the first couple of minutes of the show.
Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah. I mean, Harry Gregg's story, if you like, doesn't start and stop with Munich, but it's a big chapter in the legend of the man. Obviously, I'm sure most of you do know this, but if you don't know this, when the plane crashed at Munich on the 6th of February, most of the players were unconscious. Some of the players was already killed in the crash. Harry Gregg was one of the first to regain consciousness and just started digging through rubble, trying to find people. There's lives saved.
He dragged
by
Bobby
Harry
Charlton
Gregg.
out, didn't he? And
didn't Bobby Charlton come to already?
Another diplomat of a different country.
There's a steward,
a baby,
a pregnant lady. Yeah, like there's all sorts of people that were literally all their lives to Harry Gregg. Now, he survived the crash. He went back in looking for survivors and put himself in extreme danger for doing that. But I don't think that's even close to being the most remarkable thing about what happened there. I think the most remarkable thing that happened is that him and Bill Foulkes, 2 weeks after Munich, played.
And he said it was because he couldn't imagine just sitting at home. And he said every time he'd relax, he'd start thinking about it again. And it's like, we can't, because we hear about it so much, it almost becomes our Munich. Like, we know it's sad, we know we lost loads, but you almost don't actually think about it deeply, do you?
No, I can't actually try and put myself into the shoes of. Obviously, I've been at war. I've experienced fairly traumatic things myself. We lost 34 colleagues in 2006 in Afghanistan. Like, I'm aware of what it's like losing colleagues.
I hate to, but you kind of expect it going to war. Like, these lot were going to play football and travelling back. Like, do you know what I mean?
I wrote letters to all my family saying, if you're reading this, I'm fucking gone. Which is a hard thing to write. Yeah, these guys play football. I can't imagine the mindset was anything like going into that like that for them. But Harry Gregg playing football, I believe actually.
And he went on to have a great career after it. 13 days later.
He was a hell of a player.
Kept the clean sheet.
But there's some sort of changing of the story a little bit. The story is still the same, but in terms of them wanting it, I think it was more of that they was almost forced to by Jimmy Murphy. And you can have your opinions on that, but I think someone mentioned the other day, it might have been Joe actually, someone mentioned the other day that this was 13 years after the end of World War II. There was a different mentality of stoicism at the time where you just got on with stuff.
Of course as well, but you look at it and you think it's more remarkable because if that happened to them now, they would get a psychologist, they would get treatment.
PTSD was only invented in like 2002, I think. Yeah.
So it's like they would have, and they didn't have that, and he speaks about it, and I just think the guy's an amazing guy. And also, what makes him more of an amazing guy is he used to say, remember me for being a footballer, don't remember me for that, because you would have done it, I would have done it. Wow, you think about it, you think a lot of people probably wouldn't have done it. They would have just been happy to be alive.
And he only mentions
he joined them recently just before that, didn't he? It wasn't...
The season, that's it.
Yeah, so it's like, he doesn't even know a lot of these guys that deeply, and it's just an incredible story. Rest in peace to him, of course, and thoughts to his family. Let's move on to the football stuff then. Mino, Gary Neville. I know you've done a video on the Mino stuff, so we don't want to go back into it too much. But he's obviously had a little head-to-head with Gary Neville now as well. It's a bit depressing. It's now we're hearing Real want him for 50. What I would say is a lot of papers now are just going to start making stuff up because they know there's some sort of credibility to the story there now.
I mean, this is like when you saw Neil Ashton appointed as a PR guy, and then you saw the stories the next day in the paper from people that he was literally on camera with, that you know that he knows at newspapers he used to work at. You go, fucking hell, mate, how obvious is that? Now, you put that lens over the fact that Raiola knows anything that he tweets, especially when it's that inflammatory, what he's tweeted, is going to be front and back page news and discussed and analysed to death. Now, he come out and said what he said, which was...
The last line was really telling for me. It was like he knew something that Ali doesn't know.
It was snide.
It was
Whatever
like
it was
he's
snide.
getting sacked. You know, like kind of like you're going to get sacked at the end of the season anyway.
Yeah, like I know that and you don't. Maybe, and I don't know whether that was him on the wind-up. I don't know if that was him being truthful. I don't know. I don't know Raiola, so I don't know what the crack was with that. But when you look at it through the lens of like, look at the join the dots up. We know that Pogba wanted out. Pogba himself has pretty much said he wants a new challenge. Now, Pogba hasn't come out and gone, I want to leave Manchester United, sell me. And for some reason, because he hasn't done that, there are fans out there that are saying, like, it's not Pogba saying this, it's his agent. And you're like, mate.
I think it becomes like, I'm a big fan of Paul Pogba and I hate all the extra stuff that he attracts. You and I both know that. But I think it becomes a point where you are a grown man. And if I'm a grown man, and obviously you're not my agent, but if you were tweeting stuff on my behalf or like tweeting stuff about me,
shut the fuck up.
I'd be like, bro, hold it down a little bit. And there did seem to be some backtracking from Raiola.
Well, I got some on that. So I want to finish framing this first. So like we know that Pogba come out and said this, and for some reason people will defend Pogba because he's never come out and actually gone, sell me, I want out of this club, I'm not happy here.
And from a professional perspective, when he's been part of the pre-season camp, when he's got on with his job almost. So you understand that, but then you have to be telling this guy.
Yeah, but there's still
carry on with the thing.
So, right, for starters, I've not seen him at a match since he's been injured. There were question marks over the legitimacy of his injury.
He's done a few things where like Rashford scored and things like that.
And then you see his brother coming talking out. Now,
always in Spain.
Always.
Same channel.
His brother can't keep his fucking mouth shut.
Does he have a job on there, or is he an invited guest quite regularly?
He's a player in it.
Like, does he, like, what I'm trying to ask is, because he played for someone in Spain, is he seen as a pundit there? Or is he just invited to speak about Pogba? Because that's another, because like, surely he'd be like, go and speak to them.
Yeah. So you've got Raiola coming out and saying all sorts of shit. Now, in the past, Raiola has attacked Scholes. He's attacked Gary Neville a few times, I think. I don't think he likes Gary Neville. He's had a go at the club, which I think most fans would go like, yeah.
He says a lot of truths as well.
Yeah, he does, yeah. And that's the problem. Is like there's and it's the same with Trump and all sorts of people. There's some truth in what they say, but fundamentally the reasons that they're saying it are
Raiola just got compared to Trump.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably fucking fair. He's probably got more money than Trump. You join the dots of everything that's going on. Real Madrid come and saying that they only value him at 50, and then you see in this sort of stuff, and it becomes transparent that he's trying to create drama, and he tweets it on a match day. So whether it's a good result for Manchester United or not a good result for Manchester United, the narrative is Paul Pogba, a player that didn't even fucking play. And you mentioned the circus, and it is a circus, and I, for one, am absolutely fucking sick of the circus.
Yeah, it's
Fergie sold Beckham
that's one of
because
the things
of the circus, and
like,
there was nothing like
that's
this.
What pisses me off, because you, me, Pogba fans, people that never been quite happy with him, they all say he's off in the summer. So what is the need for all of this? And that's why it seems like something that's being done to drive the price down, maybe.
So I spoke to someone yesterday. Should we say someone that's French by trade, has lived in Turin and Manchester and now lives in London, and I'll let you figure out who the fuck that could be.
Zinedine Zidane.
He's in London a little bit, isn't he? And he lived in Turin. Should we just leave it at that? And I spoke to him for half an hour, actually. And he's doing well. He's doing his coaching badges, and he's happy, and he's chilling.
He might be on full-time Devils soon as well.
And I asked him about what the crack is with Pogba. And he said, Paul's happy. And I was like, okay. But he was also saying that he's probably going to leave. I'm like, well, how's he happy and why is he going to leave? And why is Raiola saying this thing? Surely it works from him. And he seemed to think Raiola was just doing what Raiola does. And he's like, he wants to make money on a move. And I'm like, I don't buy it, to be honest. And I know they're really close.
There was a backtracking, because he went on TalkSport, he held his guns. I thought Simon Jordan was quite good.
And this is kind of what I was getting at in terms of, like, the person I spoke to thought, when I said, why is he allowing him to do that? And he said something along the lines of, I think he's had a word. And then the backtrack happened, and I was like, huh. So I don't think he's fully up to speed on everything that's going on. He was guessing.
Because I do think, I feel like Pogba likes Manchester. You know, he likes the club, he likes people around it. I feel he's happy to be there, but it's ultimately a professional decision as well. And I think if he got his head down and grafted...
I said, is it money? Is it trophies? And he was like, I don't know.
I think it's trophies, ultimately. But if he just got his head down, grafted, moved it... I think most people would, and his agent weren't talking, most people would be like, if I was him, I would move too. And it's like...
But the circus...
It's that extra shit that Mino Raiola isn't helping him. And I do think you have to have, as a fully grown man, as an adult, as a fully grown woman, anybody, you have to be telling people that are trying to speak on your behalf to chill. And it does seem to be something like that.
Unless they are putting out your fucking message.
The circus has already happened. It's too late. Do you know what I mean? It's already happened. I just think he just needs to get your head down. Leave in the summer if you want.
Like, because if Ollie doesn't
play... Because he did say... Because Raiola said he's open to contract negotiations, right? But we believe that there was some sort of... I've spoke to people that would know as well. I hate to speak like that, but I have. And like they've said, he was offered a contract in the summer. One of the best contracts United have ever offered anybody.
I bet, yeah.
So it's like, if surely you take that then. So it's a weird one.
I think it's obvious to me he doesn't want to be here, right?
I think from a professional point of view, he'll leave for trophies. But I just think this whole ruining your relationships at the club or allowing an agent to do that is a bit sad.
Well, I don't think, I mean, contrary to what I was getting told yesterday, I think that the agent's acting as your agent. That's what an agent does. Like, now, I really don't agree with Jesse taking on Raiola. I think there's only one reason you take on Raiola. But he isn't coming out and saying this about Jesse.
I thought that as well, because he never talks about he never spoke about Zlatan like that. Look how many times Zlatan's left and moved around. But then when you read Zlatan's book, he's like, I wouldn't want any other agent. He's the best. And it's like, it's an interesting one. But I'm fed up of it, so let's move on. I'm done. What did Gary Neville say though? I kind of switched off to him.
So Gary Neville was very defensive of the City owners in one sense for investing into their business. No one's got an issue with that, mate. The fact is they broke the rules. FIFA set people are like, FIFA was the judge, the jury, and the executioner in this. Yeah, it's their fucking competition.
And that's where I think Cass very rarely go it, unless they've broken their own rules, UEFA. They're going to win again. Yeah. Like, unless they've broken their own rules, they're going to win.
The only argument City have got isn't that they didn't do it, and it isn't what they did wasn't wrong. The only argument they've got is how the evidence that fucks them was found. They come up with.
Because there's emails and stuff that make it bait. Like we were all saying at the time,
that's bad. 400 mil.
This feels a bit touchy, guys. What's going on here? And we all knew, like everyone knew, and I'm sure, like once even UEFA and see that, they're like, let's research this. And then you had those leaks coming out, which made it even more obvious. And City's fans are trying to paint it as trial by media. No, mate, it's obvious. Everyone's known. So it's like, and I don't think UEFA do that without actually thinking, yo, they ain't got a job.
No, because
City have got PEs, they've got lawyers, they got the best of everything.
Was it The Independent? I think someone in The Independent wrote a story, and City said basically set their lawyers on them and said, you're going to this. I can't remember who it was. And they sent them back they said like a 2,000 word article back, which is like how everything that they said is evidenced and this, that, and the other, and they said never heard from them again. But that was something one of the journalists told me a long time ago. When I said, why is there all this negative press from United? And this goes back to the way United are run as an organisation versus City. City, on one hand, are going for excellence, and they're trying to portray an image through what they do on the football pitch, but they also try to control the media. And they do that by having nice little lunchy days out for them. But also this, like, when Fergie left, a lot of journalists saw it as a time to hit United because they'd been banned, they'd been given the rough treatment by Fergie sometimes. Fergie used to do, Daniel Taylor's got a great book in there, I think it's A Year with Fergie, something like that, where he made a diary about, like, the press conferences with Fergie. And, you used to trust journalists as having some insider information. Well, the reason for that is they used to get insider information. Fergie used to sit them down and have an actual conversation with them. And he would question you on some stuff that you'd wrote. Why did you write that? That's not fucking right, that, mate. And he goes, it'd be in front of some of the other newspapers and stuff like that. But then he'd be like, right, I'm trying to sign this guy. Here's the issues I'm coming up with. Do us a favour, put that in there. Or he might pull you to a side and say, I wouldn't mind if that went in the papers today. But that's where transfer rumours 15 years ago started to come from. And it was from legitimate places, like the manager had a word in your ear, and that's where they came from. Then the cameras would come on, and he would do his press conference. And Fergie supposedly had like a monologue at the start. Where now it's them bullshit questions like, Ollie, can you tell us who trained today? Where Fergie would almost have like, right, so he would have his agenda. He would say things he wanted to say, and in that would be the injury update.
The infamous Rooney one with the other field's never better or whatever he said. He gave a cow analogy, but it's like, he just started speaking. He wasn't asked any questions.
Yeah, Fergie has like 2 minutes at the start to get the things he says out, and then people ask follow-up questions. But he covers the bone questions. Like in a transfer window, he'd be like, yeah, we're working on a couple of deals, I ain't getting anything over. Cool, you just eliminated one of them bullshit questions.
And he'd come in and be like, right, so-and-so's injured, so they're not playing.
Yeah, and he would answer them. He knows what's coming, whereas now they have to sit there and wait. Next question, can you tell us who's injured? Oh, shut the fuck up. That should be a press release at the start of it.
You got that
there's who's
there.
Injured, there's who's injured.
You can't answer that one.
Yeah.
Can't answer this one.
So, what was the point I was trying to make?
I don't know, we were talking about
that was it, no. City. So
they do them days with journalists. We saw pictures of loads of journalists with Pep.
It was they do, but it was if you write a negative article about City, they get on the phone and ask you to justify it. Now, you write 2 articles about City, 3 articles about City. Can you be arsed with that?
Horse's head in your bed.
I don't think there's anything dodgy going on in terms of that. But the fact that they're going, right, there's line 42 in your article, and you just be like, I think you just get bored of that eventually. That you can't be arsed justifying. I think it's more
deeper than that.
And maybe it is. Maybe they do threaten people, but I don't know any evidence.
I don't mean threatening. I just mean like, most of these, sometimes you see an article and it looks like an ad. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's a lot of dodginess going on there. And I think people just want to be on. And it's why I think Pep won't leave. If they get whatever happens, I don't think Pep leaves because those are some very powerful people to be keeping happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, if you just keep them happy and you say, you know what, I'm going to stick by your side, we're going to get through this for 2 years, bruv, you've just kept some very powerful people, very rich people, very happy. Whereas if you just leave, it's like,
I don't think anyone's ever just like left on their terms, have they?
So it's I find it mad, and I'm not surprised Gary Neville defending them, to be honest. Especially when you look at Salford City, he rarely goes after the Glazers. It seems that he doesn't really talk about owners, maybe because things will come back to him and Peter Lim.
Yeah, and I personally believe he doesn't talk negatively about owners and I have no evidence for this. I just have suspicions of this. I think he wants to own United one day. And I think that he's just trying to set a precedent of not criticising owners. So when he gets in that job, you know what it's like. All of that shit will just come straight back to him.
I don't think he'll ever own Manchester United.
I think he might. And I think that I personally think the whole Salford thing is an experiment to see what running a football club's about. And as they move them to a higher level and higher level.
I don't think it is. I think you'll see that club probably within the next 10 years in the Premier League.
Maybe.
So once that happens, there's no desire to, especially when you look at the money in the Premier League, all that stuff. You look at the way Leicester have even built themselves. You don't have to buy a top club to be a top club anymore. You can, and I know City are going to say, oh, well, FFP's there to protect No, it's not. FFP was brought in before Chelsea, around the time Chelsea were...
it brought in 2009, but the idea of it came up, I think,
because of Roman. Not because of City.
Not necessarily.
It wasn't because of City. I remember seeing...
No, it wasn't because of City.
It was talks about Roman and FFP, not just City. So City likes to act like it's just them.
It was us. It was us. It was us, and one of the studies I found, because I tried to Google when the first talk of it was coming in was...
I seen one of them with the Chelsea article. Someone posted it, because they were saying, I've got loads of City fans tweeting me, but here's the first article I ever written about FFP, and it was about Chelsea.
Right. Well, when they delivered their own thingy on it, what they were saying was, out of the 92 in England, I think 2 made a profit at some point. I think one was United, one was Arsenal. This is 2008, 2009, something like that. Of all the teams in France, none of them made a profit. Out of all the teams in Germany, like 4 of them made a profit. Italy, none of them made a profit. And that's what they were saying in terms of the way football clubs are run. There is no one making profit here. So people are running at a debt, and they wanted to try and manage clubs spending more than their means. Now, a side consequence of that is if you've just got a crazy billionaire owner, like he is sugar daddying your team up into something that's unsustainable, because if he pulls the plug, how are you ever going to survive?
That happened with, who did that? Pompey? I think they were spending way above their means, and like once Thingy went, what's his name? They were done. So yeah,
but it doesn't protect about unscrupulous owners, because I think Bury were within their means or just outside of their means. They weren't like run at crazy, like they weren't buying players left, right, and centre. That wasn't why they went tits up. They went tits up because their owner wasn't running them properly, and there's nothing to protect against that. And then obviously you've got United saddled with £650 million worth of debt. If FFP had been in the time, maybe that might have prevented the Glazer takeover, because and the United are one of the reasons cited in why FFP came in, because we shouldn't be running up a debt, or we shouldn't be able to be saddled with a debt. And I wish they would change the rules to make it like that. Like someone can't buy the club by mortgaging the club. That's fucked up. And how the fucking Premier League fit and proper person test come up with that?
Yeah, that's bullshit. They never do proper tests.
Mr. Glazer, how are you planning to pay for this fucking billion pound asset?
Got a Wanga loan.
Yeah, I got a loan. You got a loan? Right. Is that smart? So, how much is that going to take to pay back? Right, and what if the TV money doesn't continue? It's all shoulders, like a fucking 13-year-old who's in shit.
Yeah, I think City should be done, to be fair, and I want my titles back from 2012. And what was the other one? They always? Jose's one. Jose won the league in his second season. Should never have got rid of him, eh? Will we get that title, do you think? It also means, would you take 2 extra titles if it meant Liverpool had 2 extra titles?
Yes, because it ruins their big party.
Yeah, because imagine they forgot they won the league.
Like we won the league? No. Twice then. Remember, stop going on about now.
Or should there always be an asterisk next to Cities? Like, how do you think the Premier League will react to this, or won't they?
Fuck knows.
Because they're watching.
It's the same rules.
They're investigating apparently, but they are also watching this appeal, because the Premier League are probably thinking, we want to be big in that part of the world. If City are successful here with their legal battles, then we don't want to even be getting into those dramas. So they can just sit back and let UEFA take the hit.
If City have broken the FFP rules for Europe, well, there's FFP regulations in England's competitions as well, yeah. British competition. So surely they've broken Premier League rules, because the accounts that they're submitting to the Premier League have been fraudulent as well. So they've done both. In theory, this is the best bit, is that you can't be kicked out of the Premier League. This is the EFL clubs just being snide, but I like it, it's funny. If you get kicked out of the Premier League, you don't go to the Championship unless you're relegated, which is what happened with Juventus when they was relegated. That was the sanction that they was given. You get relegated, and then a points deduction for next season, and then I think it was a following year points deduction as well. If City get relegated, they are in League Two. I think there's a 1% chance that happens. I don't think they do.
I don't think that ever happens.
I don't even think they'll take the titles off them.
I don't think they get suspended from the Champions League.
This is their doping thing. This is the Lance Armstrong time. So
it is financial doping, 100%. 100%.
We want our titles back. 22.
Yeah, it's 22.
Man, yeah,
We've seen 15 league titles, Purdy won 14. It's great times. Where did the spending spree stuff come from?
You what, sorry?
We'll talk about, actually. Have you heard about the new change to the offside rule? Arsene wants to introduce.
Proposed.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this bit first. So, obviously, Arsene Wenger has got a role, making rules, changing rules, all that stuff.
Does it?
Yeah, he does.
The motherfucker who didn't see it for his whole career is now the guy that's in charge of making sure other motherfuckers see it.
Yeah, so he's saying offside should be daylight again.
Yeah, it should. Because that's the advantage. There's no advantage from armpit hairs and fucking pubes being in front.
I would add, though, to that, you can't use lines either. You shouldn't be able to use those lines.
What are you supposed to use?
You should be able to just look at it That's offside.
Well, that was the whole point. Is
Do you know
that
what I mean?
It was meant to have been brought in for clear and obvious wrong decisions. But then
they took that away from offside, didn't they? Because they said you can't be clear.
Yeah, you can't be clear and obvious,
onside or
you're
offside.
off. But that's where it should be. Well, it's a clear and obvious advantage then. When you and the literal is it FMOL or something like that? Is the people who write the laws?
PG something.
No, there's someone that writes the laws anyway, which is where everyone gets their interpretation from it from. The president of that literally come out and said, if you start having to draw fucking lines on the screen and stuff, that makes it not clear and obvious and it takes too long. You're supposed to be able to look at it and go, yeah.
I always think back to when you think of like when I did my law degree, you'd look into why laws were brought in when they would make decisions.
Yeah, what's the spirit?
Why did you bring that law in? Okay, we brought this law in to prevent goal hanging. Is this geezer's ball bag being offside preventing goal hanging? No.
Nope.
So you're not using the law for what it's there for, and ultimately, hopefully, if this happens, but some people are scared of it.
No one ever gets. How do you know a throw in on the 12th minute where it may be crossed the line, but you never use VAR to check whether it crossed the line, didn't lead to the corner, which led to a goal. If you're going to be that precise in football, you have to be that precise.
I always think of that. You know, when you think someone's off,
you can't be that precise.
You think someone's off, but it doesn't lead to a goal, so it never gets checked, but then it leads to a corner. What if they score from that corner?
Correct. You can't. So you have to go to stuff where it can be a little bit more open, or it has to be way more obvious. Like if the guy's saying you shouldn't be, like why does VAR get the ability to freeze frame something and then start drawing lines? Because there's never in the history of sport a referee had that level.
That being said, Giroud's goal would have stood against Chelsea.
There's other goals that we've had disallowed, like the fucking first time we ever saw it against Huddersfield with Mata, yeah, where it was a fucking jagged line, fucking nice one.
That was funny. Do you remember that line? It was a bit mental, that wasn't it?
So yeah, I think it needs to go to daylight, and I think everyone would have. Nobody
would have been
a football
fucked under this current system. Remember when Rude used to
drop behind offside constantly?
He used to walk behind the defender, and then just as the ball was about to be kicked, jump and then jump. It was fucking amazing, Van Nistelrooy.
The whole fucking thingy about this shit. It needs to just go back to that. No one who watches football is happy when a goal gets pulled off because there's a millimetre of either.
What happens to the goal?
Pulled off. What about it?
A little bit of pulling off.
Or someone's armpit is a bit more ahead than this guy. Like, no one's sitting there as a football fan going, yeah, I'm glad they disallowed that.
What was the goal that was disallowed when the striker was stepping back and his little bit of his heel was in the air and his heel...
Was it Villa?
I can't remember. It was just like, I just remember thinking, wow. Was it Wolves? Villa?
There's been a few ridiculous ones this season.
Yeah, it's...
We'd
have won the league if there's no VAR, by the way. Just letting you know. I've worked it out statistically.
Now the thing is, because people will go, "Oh, United have had more VAR decisions go their way than the others." Okay, however, and I don't think VAR's ever got something wrong, but the fact that they don't choose to go to VAR for some stuff is where it's bent for me.
All right, so have you seen some of my tweets that have been going viral?
Some. Mate, someone's dug out a fucking FullTimeDEVILS video from about 2015. Where I said, we'd probably be on 25 before they get to 18. Of 18.
So it's Sorry Not Sorry this week.
Maybe next week.
Maybe a little jingle. If Nick's feeling creative. He's not, no. He's feeling sad. Poor fella. Love you, Nick, you idiot. Sorry Not Sorry this week. My tweets about Jordan Henderson and James Milner. Now, I muted the tweets because I'm not deleting them. You know what I mean? As a football fan, we're allowed to get things wrong. And at that time...
No, you're not. But you are. You are for me, but you're not.
At that time, I think probably most Liverpool fans agreed with me. Jordan Henderson, captain, never winning the league, surely. James Milner, your vice-captain, you ain't winning shit. Look at the state of it. And those tweets have been dug up again. It could, but it's not.
Oh, yeah, it's not, is it?
It's not. So yeah, am I sorry? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck them.
Oh, do you know what? And I can't understand some people who are United fans and be like, I just love watching this Liverpool team. Set fire to yourself. What the fuck are you talking about?
I haven't watched one of their games live because they are just so good.
Right.
In the sense that results-wise, they are so good.
Finish this entire sentence before you jump in. My mate sent a picture of himself in a bath yesterday, right? And he was watching Atletico Madrid and Liverpool on his iPad in the bath. and it was like just getting myself all comfy to watch the game. I was like, I can't bring myself to watch any Liverpool game while they're being good. I mean, I know they lost, but still. You can't set yourself up to watch them potentially win a game, can you? I'd rather just miss it and hear they lost.
That reminds me of the Champions League final. I just slept.
Oh, I went out for it.
I
watched it at that lad's house, actually.
I slept. Yeah, but people like getting onto me like, you fucking idiot, and all that. I don't mind getting rinsed a little bit, having a little bit of laugh. But then when people are like,
good job,
going too far, like some of my DMs, I'm just thinking, bro, if I was to go down your timeline right now, I would find some shit.
Here's the thing. Most people, because I check, and like Jay says, I will argue with someone with 3 followers. I'm an equal opportunities arguer, right? I don't give a fuck if you're Piers Morgan, King Katie Hopkins, or Jay. You know what I mean? I'm not going to argue with you all.
Jay's got
I don't give
4
a fuck.
followers today.
But if I have a check of someone's thinking, there's usually something mental within the first 2 tweets.
And most Liverpool fans think none of the treble team would get into their team, so they're all fucking idiots.
Fucking heads, honestly. I love Roy Keane's, like, maybe Van Dijk.
But you know what?
And I'm like, yeah, me and you both, brother. That's exactly what I think.
I agree.
Because they're like, Trent's well better than Gary Neville. Yes, he is. But what characteristics of a footballer do you get in? Oh, he can cross it a bit. He's a fucking volume merchant.
And we had
gets 2
Beckham
on target a day, right?
And we had Beckham.
So you've got someone who's not as good as Beckham doing what Beckham does, but no one who can defend. That's fucking ridiculous. Gary Neville, take a seat. You're in the team.
He is. He is. And I agreed with that. I find it bonkers.
The thing about the 99, I'm going to get angry now. The thing about the 1999 team is it was partnerships everywhere. There was blends. Yes, York and Cole was maybe the sexiest thing that you've ever seen. But the way Keane and Scholes blended in, one did this job, one did that job. Beckham and Gary Neville on the right-hand side was a fucking team. Beckham did what he did because Neville did what he did. And one without the other is fucking useless. Probably not useless, but maybe about as good as them.
Yeah, to be fair, Beckham probably did give Gary Neville a career for a lot of time.
Of course he did.
You know what I mean?
Of course he did. Well, it was very clear when he had someone who didn't fucking work with him in Ronaldo 2 years later how exposed Gary Neville looked.
Also, that was, he had some bad times towards the end of his career. Nevertheless, he would have got into that team, that combined 11. And I think only Van Dijk as well.
They have to win stuff. And then Gary Neville's going, Carragher's going, so you're saying that if they win the treble, they have to come back to it? He was like, well, because they haven't won it yet.
I hope they don't win the treble.
Well, they're halfway out.
I think they're going to get undefeated.
They're probably going to go through, though, because they've only got to win 2-0, haven't they? Against stuff.
They're going to go through against Atletico, I think.
Come on, Simeone.
They beat Barcelona 4-0, bruv. They are ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like, bastards. Dirty bastards. Cheer me up, talk about something else.
Be dead soon.
That's a good point. I'm 30 now, I'm fucking old.
I can't wait to fucking die.
Why?
I need the rest.
Wonder what happens.
I think it's like going to Kip, and I love a Kip.
You know what, yeah? Someone told me once, it's like before you were born. Then it pissed me off. Right. What scares me about dying is everyone's just going to carry on. Like, what the fuck? Your family, they're just going to carry on like you weren't even there?
Well, yeah.
Shit does my head in, bruv. Sometimes when I go to sleep, I can't sleep. So I think about what happens when you die. And then I can't sleep even more. Bruv, it's mental.
Can't wait, mate.
It's fucking mental. I am scared of death, bruv. I'm actually scared of death. More than Liverpool fans finding tweets about Henderson. I'm scared of death.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I like living sometimes.
Yeah, but it's shit, innit?
Nah. It's good fun. It's alright. I reckon. Yeah. Anyway.
Fuck it, man. We've peaked. Let's just fucking...
It is true. Like, we're not going to see any better football ever.
So fuck it off.
And what else do we do?
Yeah.
Do you have any other hobbies? Should you find a new hobby?
I got hobbies.
I haven't.
Eating pizza's a hobby.
My hobby is United, and it's pretty depressing. It is, isn't it? When will we win the league again, Steve? Gary Neville said in the summer...
Don't think it'll be this summer.
Gary Neville said in the summer that we'd win it before Liverpool. Why do I get my tweets clipped up and he's got that floating out there?
Do you know what I love? I love the fact that Liverpool fans have had to watch through it. The same with the Blues. Like, and do you know what? Liverpool fans think that I care, that you hate me. I hate you more, right? I don't give a fuck. City fans, you hate me. You were never meant to like me. If there's United creators out there that you like, they're doing it wrong. You're not supposed to be fucking liked by rival fans. I've sort of got down this path before, but didn't really get fully down it. Why has rivalry disappeared? Why have people been like, oh, yeah, I like watching... Fuck you.
Fuck Liverpool,
Fuck you, and fuck Liverpool, and fuck
I hope City get relegated.
And fuck Leeds, by the way, as well, because no one says that enough.
By the way?
Just fuck them all. Yeah, I'm a United fan. I'm supposed to be completely fucking biased.
That chat sounded like... that was so bad. Why would you do that? Yeah, I agree with you. Fuck the lot of them.
Yeah. United first, United only. Don't give a fuck about the rest of it.
You know what I hate as well? Another thing I hate. This really grinds my gears.
Vegans.
That don't grind my gears because I've found that some vegan food's actually banging because they put more flavour into it. They put more flavour into it, bro. Sometimes, you know, when we go India, yeah, some places are strictly veg, so you're gonna have to get down with it. Trust me, you'll be all right.
Look at this face.
I only have veg pizza.
Think I maintain this kind of physique eating vegan?
Yes. What was I going to say? Yeah, we beat Chelsea the other day.
And I watched it.
Tweeted a happy thing. People are like, oh, this is fucking shit. Like, bruv, you're a United fan. What's wrong with you?
No, there is something wrong with you. That's the problem. People are like, oh, but it wasn't a good performance. So?
In the endeavour to be right all the time, people can't enjoy things.
Yeah.
Like,
so fuck you and all.
Since Ollie got the job, I've been unsure about it. But if he proves me wrong, I'll be the happiest motherfucker on the planet. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I just think people get caught up in, I have to be right all the time. And it goes back to like my Henderson tweets. I ain't deleting them. Because I don't have to be right all the time. It's okay if you're wrong sometimes.
I delete them. When people fucking get onto them. Do you know why? Just because I can't be arsed. No, I just mute them.
I just mute them.
Oh, no, fuck that.
Because you know what I hate? When people have quoted it and then that tweet has been deleted thing. But then in the replies, there's a screenshot of it anyway. So what the fuck's the point of deleting it?
Fuck it, delete it. Fuck them. I'll take your fun away.
Just don't trim the date off. That pisses me off. At least show it's 2015. I never said it last week.
I'll tweet it now.
Tweet it, go on. Please do it. Word for word. I've got it screenshotted here. Word for word, tweet it, please.
No, I'm not doing it.
This is what.
Because do you know why? Do you know why I can't do it?
This is what I said.
Because people don't have a sense of humour.
This is what I said. Liverpool for the title, question mark. Fuck me. Haha. Jordan Henderson will never lift the title as captain, ever. I added ever at the end. To be fair, it's not the real captain, it's Van Dijk. Isn't it?
And he runs weird. Runs like he shot himself.
And is he a United fan? So fuck you, like Liverpool fans. Sports United.
I know, but Erling Haaland being a blue.
But Solskjaer supported Liverpool, didn't he?
Full on arsed.
He's not a blue. It's like when you're the son of a footballer, you support whoever they play for, right?
This is true. I don't know who he supports. I think he supports Leeds. Which might be worse.
Yeah, he does support Leeds. I read that. But that would be good, because Leeds have been like a feeder club to us over the years. Great players from Leeds. Have another one from one of their players' nutsacks. It's all right, isn't it? He won't end up at United.
I don't think so.
Did you hear that shot the other day? Oh, it sounded like a Batistuta special, that.
Right, I'm bored. Let's go.
We're going?
Yeah.
Go and get some pizza?
No. Make sure I'm fucking dead before Liverpool win the league.
Yeah, let's do it. See you later. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Find some tweets of Steve's, please, for sorry, not sorry next week.
Is it? Fucking hell. It's only free from today.
He's deleted half of them. But yeah, get involved, like, comment, share, subscribe. We're out of here.